knew how to set up a film that I could shoot, how to both limit my headaches, but also have room to kind of push the envelope of what is accomplishable on a tiny budget. So, you know, a fairly small cast. We had, I think, it's really like 6 characters who I would call principals, maybe 7. And only one of them is in every scene, which is the lead. And then there's a lot of 2-person scenes by design, so I wouldn't have to depend on bringing out a lot of actors. We used a camera which was a sub $1,000 camera. It was the GH2, which at that time they had just come out with what's called a hack on the camera that basically brought up the resolution to the value of a much higher, more expensive camera.
You know, I really wanted to bring some light to the myth that you can't make a great looking, high budget looking feature film on a micro budget. I mean, not even a micro budget. Nowadays, micro budget's like 10 grand. You know, I really wanted to push the envelope with the budget that we had, which was next to nothing, and really show that what could be done with next to nothing and just the right equipment and knowing how to use your equipment.
One of the maxims of micro-budget filmmaking is limiting your locations, which is obviously a good idea, but I really wanted to maximize the locations I had.
Being a small budget group, it's hard to find these exquisite locations that everyone uses in feature films, but somehow Tim does it. He always does it in every film that we find. Unfortunately, they're always miles away from any known location on any map. You're like completely off the grid. So we usually end up having to hike out there and beat up ourselves, beat up our vehicles to get out there. But the visuals that come from the locations that we use are always really stunning. They just really transport the audience to this hellish place that Tim really wanted to bring out in this film.
And one other thing I really wanted to do was, I knew Fort Myers by that point. I had been there for 4 or 5 years, and I could really build the script around the kind of place Fort Myers is. Fort Myers was, for Southwest Florida, Fort Myers Cape Coral was really ground zero for the housing collapse in 2008.
Man, what happened to this
it was almost an entirely growth-fueled economy, and when the real estate market collapsed, we just had tons of empty properties and abandoned properties, and Moment of Truth almost kind of inhabits that world of this ghost town, where I could really showcase the rot and all the worst parts of town, and I think that worked out pretty well.
Here we are at another fucked up location. This may be the last you see me alive, but I guarantee you, I'm taking that motherfucker out.
You're taking it with you?